Hello and welcome to today's edition of Icons of Our Time, and I'm your host Esther Gordons. On today's edition, as usual, we are going to have an exciting guest in the studio with us who will not only inspire you, but it's going to motivate you to talk about his life experience as we normally do. If you want to know about our guest, just hold on. After this short break, we'll be right back. Dr. Benjamin Uzoma Azubike hails from Obizi in Ezonite-Mbise local government area of Imo State. He was born on the 3rd of August 1960. He attended St. Augustine Grammar School, Unkwere from 1972 to 1976. He also attended the prestigious University of Nigeria College of Medicine, Enugu campus from 1977 to 1983. He works at the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, as a consultant physician and cardiologist with about 35 years in the medical profession. A worthy knight of St. Christopher, Diocese of Ikwano, and a distinguished Christian of Father Diocese of Owerri, he is a special member of Bible Society of Nigeria. He is married to Lady Dr. Ogechi Azubike, a lecturer at Avanikoku Federal College of Education, Owerri, and their marriage is blessed with 4 children, 3 boys and a girl, all undergraduates looking forward to their graduation soon. Dr. Benjamin Azubike is a man of many laurels and awards. Viewers, you're welcome back to the show Icons of Our Time. Good day, sir. Can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'll simply say I'm Dr. Benjamin Azubike. I work at the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, as a consultant physician and cardiologist. I would say I have a very humble background. My parents were missionaries moving from one town to the other, one state to the other. But they started in the then northern Nigeria. That was where I was born, in Kafanchan. And from there we moved to other places. Wow.
Did you ever have the flair of being a doctor? Was it what you wanted to do?
I had no special interest in medicine, but I knew I was capable of reading any course because I was good both in the arts and in the sciences. So, but I had an open mind. So when usually by my nature, I don't like asking, giving the option to choose. I like, following let down procedures or rules, So even taking that decision, if I were left alone, would have been difficult. But it is good people prompted me, and when I started, I began to enjoy it.
Aside being a doctor, is there something else you would want to do, or something else you wanted to do if the opportunity came by?
I think I will always want to be a doctor because it gives a special fulfillment, when you try to understand the working of the human body and the wonders, of nature. I don't think any profession can be better. I think I don't have a second choice this time around. I love it and want to be a doctor even in the next world. Wow. Being a doctor was the choice of the family. The family felt one of the children must be a doctor, and the lot fell upon me. So my mother was insistent, and my siblings. So I had no choice than to listen to their advice.
So like you said your mom, your parents actually decided, they chose the profession for you. So let me ask you this, is it right for parents to choose a particular profession for their children? Is it right thing to do, like in your case, as it happened to you?
Well, as a parent, you should try to know the abilities of each of your children, what they can do, and what they have a flair for, and then you can guide them. Then if your advice is taken well and good. But if the child has his own ideas, it's always best to respect the child's idea, because that is what he will be committed to in future. There should be no pressure, but parents have that obligation to guide their children, but they should leave it open for the child to accept or reject.
Sir, I would like to ask you this question. What advice do you have for children or young people out there who are having career clash issues? They don't know what to choose. And what advice do you also have for parents who don't value a particular career choice their children make? For instance, somebody just came and said, or your daughter just came and told you, I want to be a comedian. So what advice do you have for such parents? And what advice do you also have for young people who are having career clash issues?
Okay, I think these days students of this generation are lucky to have guardian counselors in schools. During my time, we were not so favored. So I think they can avail themselves of the opportunity of going to these professionals, career guardians and counselors, to help guide the child and panel beat him into what they think will be best for him.
With the notion going on now that some professions are better than the other, or some professions are higher than the other, are some careers demeaning? Is there actually a career that is better than the others?
Well, I will try to advise. Well, I will want to know whether that is the best he can offer himself. If I'm convinced he cannot fit in anywhere, well, I'll leave him to his choice. But if I think he could still be good in other things, I will say, why not try this, that? But at the end of the day, he will still have the final say.
How did you cope with studying medicine compared to these days? Like a doctor, you have to pass your medical college exams, you have to do a house job, you have to pass your part 1, part 2, part 3 and all that. How did you cope with the study of medicine?
Well, the whole thing is borders on determination. If you are determined, it doesn't come quite easily. Like during my time, I went to the university when the various universities were conducting their entrances individually. That was the pre-JAMB era. So my parents couldn't afford my taking different entrances. So I was just given the opportunity to try one. And that was University of Nigeria in Nsukka. Unfortunately, that year there was admission racketeering. There was things didn't go the way it ought to. So I wasn't favored. That was going from class 5. So that was when the choice of changing career, then some people said, medicine is so competitive, why not try some other thing? And then, well, I had an open mind. I said I could try any other thing. But my mother said, just try it a second time, since there was a problem in the last admission entrance examination, maybe this time things will be better. So by then, after school starts, I did some auxiliary teaching for about 9 months. So I had enough money of my own to now try several entrances. So I tried 4 and then I succeeded in 3. I passed University of Nigeria, University of Ibadan, University of Benin. And because Nsukka came out first, I said, well, there's no point running around, let me remain there. But so it's not usually that easy. When a child or candidate is determined, at least he should try and try again. If he doesn't succeed, he can now take a bow and look in another direction.
Our viewers would like to know, aside work, when you're with your family, how do you relax?
When I have time for that, I can once in a while, but like I said, there are so many ways one can relax. I listen to news a lot, so to me that's a form of, like when I live here from 8 o'clock till 11 p.m. I normally start from AIT, network, channels, and then so... Okay,
so don't you sing, don't you dance? In fact, I would like you to sing for us.
There's this favorite of every person that passed through St. Augustine's Grammar School in Query. He, ancient and modern 184. He says, "Dear Lord and Father of mankind, forgive our foolish ways. Reclothe us in our rightful mind impure. Our lives the service find. In deepest reverence pray." It's prayerful, and there's no day we don't sing it in school. At the end of the day, after all the punishments and things, we ask Lord to forgive your foolish ways. And so it was a favorite song for every St. Augustine's old boy.
So what advice do you have for young people who want to venture into the medical profession?
Well, being a doctor is not something you say by the word of the mouth. You must be committed to it. One, getting admission into the medical school is very challenging, especially these days when people are playing down on merit. During our own time, things were done on merit. I knew nobody at Nsukka or Benin or Ibadan. I had never been to those places before I got admission. So since things are this way, anybody who wants to be a medical student must really work hard and for it, so that whether there is whatever they call it, IM or whatever, it will not be a hindrance to you. And then secondly, when you get in, it is very challenging. You have to deny yourself so many things. You are no longer an ordinary student in the School of Medicine or College of Medicine. Most of the things other students enjoy, social life, parties, this and that, you know, you will no longer, partake of that, because one, your lectures will span from 8 a.m. up to 5 p.m., at times 10 p.m. when you start your clinicals. And when you come back by 10 p.m., you have so many assignments to carry out, so many homeworks, which you must do and present the following day. So it's rigorous. And then, so one has a lot of very bright students fall out of the medical school because of a lack of perseverance. You can make your aggregate 6 or distinction and still cannot go through the medical school, because you need a lot of endurance, a lot of perseverance, deny yourself so many things. Like we never went on holidays. After the first and second years, you stayed all through in the school. When other students go on holidays, that's the time you people will now settle down for serious business. And anybody who is not, organized can break down, both emotionally and physically.
For the young people in other professions outside medicine, what advice do you have for them generally?
It depends. Yeah, doctors don't have it on a platter of gold. You know, when I graduated was when this decree, during the first era of Buhari Diabo, they had a problem with the Nigerian Medical Association, and private practice was banned for doctors who were not up to 5 years post-qualification. And we were affected by that. So we did a lot of apprenticeship and tutelage with other senior colleagues, you know, before we were up to 5 years of post-graduation and could start small practices of our own, you know, which, depending on what you had in mind, you know, most of us knew we were not going to settle for that. And we were just doing it, maybe, let's say, half-heartedly, quotes, until we were able to go for our postgraduate and specialization, and then came out to work as consultants. So it doesn't, so for people in other professions, you can still make it if you are focused. It's just for you to decide early what you want to be. Are you joining the business world, politics? You are going to be an academic? You know, once you have that proper focus, you just pursue it. It may not be rosy, but once there is a will, there will be a way. You know, that's a popular adage. So it's just the commitment. It's not every doctor that is doing well. Depending on how, and I hope you know that medical degrees are not classified as first class, second class, third class, because the first class brain may not be the best in practice. You know, you can have all the accolades in medicine, and yet patients don't appreciate you, and they don't like coming to you. They don't like your practice, and so a lot of commitment is needed, you know. Like we have this saying that nobody cares to know how much you know until they know how much you care, you know. So it's not the knowledge that matters, but the care you put into your practice, the empathy you show to your patients.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, viewers, we've come to the end of today's edition of Icons of Our Time. And like the doctor said, he said people don't care how much you know, but they do care of how much care you give to them. That's to tell you that in the medical profession, care, empathy, passion is what matters. And if you know you don't have that, I don't think you have any business doing with that, because actually you're going to be seeing people who actually need a whole lot of care. And it applies to every other area of your life. You should have passion for what you want to do. If you want to move from the step you are to the next level, you should care about it, and you should be passionate and committed to whatever it is you want to do, because definitely the storms of life will come. The wind will blow. It will toss you here and there. But if you're passionate, or if you have passion about what you're doing, you're actually going to get there. And I hope you will. So keep the drive on. Keep your commitment on, and keep your passion on. And I hope to see you be an icon like one of those people, one of the people we've been interviewing so far. That's it on today's edition. I am Esther Gordons, your host. Bye for now.